How to fit and use the Hive-Five Multi-Guard. We're here on a lovely sunny day, and this is a Langstroth hive. As you can see, because we have wings to make it a universal guard, these wings stick out ever so slightly on the Langstroth, but there's no problem with just cutting them off if you don't like that. So you place the permanent entrance block into the entrance and slot it in. Pin it in place with the pins provided, and this will never leave the hive ever again. It will remain in place, so you never have to fight with an entrance block or gaffer tape or sponge or anything like that ever again. Underneath you've got the storage rack. Now it's really important that you make sure the storage rack completely buffs up right underneath this, and it's because what you want to be doing with the screens here is ensuring that there's a really perfect seal going on there, and you also don't want the screens to drop down and reduce the amount of room that the bees have to get in and out of the hive. So once you've got the screens, you simply put them on the storage rack. Now the screens that aren't in use will form a landing board for the bees, which just really helps the bees. Also, they come in different colours, so this is going to help reduce drift because bees see on the ultraviolet spectrum, and we've kept all of the 6 colours within the ultraviolet spectrum. The next thing that you'll do is start to use the screens. So we're coming into spring now, and the first screen that you're going to be using in spring is the reduced entrance. So you've got your 3 screens on there, and you're going to place your reduced entrance screen in there, and that's all you have to do. It means that they can defend this area. It also has ventilation because we have a warming climate. That will keep on all spring until the colony is strong enough to start defending itself. Once you've got them to the perfect strength, you can just remove the screen and not have any screens in all summer. Keep that one stored on as well, and it just also forms the landing board. Then when it comes to so you've got the summer, you've got nothing on there at all. When it comes into autumn, you're going to start using your wasp guard. Now the wasp guard is 6.5 millimeters high here, and you need to make sure that you are allowing them that 6.5 millimeters. That's what I'm saying about don't let this be any lower, because it needs to sit on top of the storage rack. The reason it's 6.5 millimeters is that will just allow your drones to get in, and your wasps and your bees to get in, but your wasps to be defensible. The great thing about this is it's a really small defensible hole. It's also got ventilation all the way along it. I use certain treatments for varroa at this time of year, and a lot of the packets said, oh, ensure that your entrance is fully open, but my bees were getting attacked by wasps, so it didn't make sense to me. Some of the packets say, oh, the wasps won't go in while these treatments on. It's not true. They do go in. So I wanted to keep the defense there, but also have ventilation so that acid isn't too strong within the hive. The other good thing about the wasp guard is that you can, apologies for the noise in the background there, you can swap it around so that the entrance hole becomes on the opposite side. We've timed the bees. It takes about 2 minutes for them to work out that the entrance hole has changed, while the wasps are still at this end and along here thinking that the entrance hole is still going to be there. The more you can confuse the wasps, the better protection that you have, because they will eventually give up. Coming into winter, your main issue is going to be mice. Now the traditional, I say traditional, there's no tradition, but the metal mouse guards have a real problem in that you have to pin them on, and the way that they get pinned on means that the legs of the bees, as they come through the holes, it scrapes the pollen off, so you end up with pollen all over, and they've gone out foraging for no reason. Then they don't have any ability to pick that pollen back up. So we've made the archways here. Now they're 7.5 millimeters at the apex, which means that the bees can get in and out without losing that pollen. I know it looks really small, but there's another video on my Instagram and on the YouTube that shows the bees absolutely fine going in and out with pollen on their legs. There's no issue with it whatsoever. We've made the holes all the way along because we wanted to reduce isolation starvation. Where bees land and where they tend to come in is where they'll tend to eat the food. So if they land here on a cleansing flight, they will tend to eat the food here. So if you can encourage them to go all the way along, they will also hopefully find the food that's all the way along, and it can reduce isolation starvation. The other issue in the winter is that you do get dead bees and you want to clean it. Now the old metal guards, you've then got to unpin, and they invariably bend. They're no fun to pin and unpin. With this, just take out your mouse guard, give it a quick swipe in there, knock out any of the dead bees and put the mouse guard back in. Takes 2 seconds. No unpinning, no doing anything like that. Then obviously we're back into the spring, but there is one last benefit that I wanted to show you, which is that for any reason, both during winter, summer and spring and autumn, you need to keep your bees in for a temporary amount of time. I once lost a hive because we get pesticide spray on the farm where I am, and I lost the hive because they had to stay in for 24 hours and they overheated. So I thought, I'm never having that again. So I've made a fully closed entrance screen, but it's completely ventilated. You can see this ventilation all the way along. It's just designed to prevent that overheating, especially if you've got a poly hive, because these do fit poly hives as well. If you do then need to move the hive, this is ideal. Again, it's going to prevent overheating, but just put a couple of pins above, just to ensure that while you're going along, the bouncing of the car or the vehicle doesn't mean that this lifts up, because that's not a good day out for anybody. And that's it. So that's the Hive-Five Multi-Guard, available in 6 different colours to reduce drift, and it's all made with UV stabilised recycled plastics. Everything is made and designed here in the UK. We haven't gone to China. This is all UK made. So have a look on the website, and thank you very much.